Good morning, guys. You're tuned into Devin That Dude, though. See the title? Yeah, this is about being a relief driver, bro. This position kicked my ass at first. When I first applied, right, I'm thinking I'm applying for a regular, Class A CDL delivery driver position. It kind of seemed like I wasn't going to get the position because I really had to sell myself. Moving out here, living in my car. If you guys, go to my first video, like I started this channel living in my car. Yeah, I did all that. I was doing Uber for a while. Long story short, I'm in the office and the guy's just like, yeah, so we have a position open, just two of them. Little strange when he said that because now that I'm in here, right, there's several positions open. Like they're actually trying to hire like 10 more drivers. Yeah, I guess it was just two Phoenix positions open and I happened to get one of them, but one of them is for a relief driver. So this position that I have is solely relief driver based. Being a relief driver sucks ass. 100%. But I'm going to give you some pros about it though. A relief driver is exactly what it's saying. You relieve other drivers of their duties or, when they take vacation, sick time, call off, or if they just simply need you wherever. Literally just Sunday, they wanted me to take off to go to Kingman, right? On my off day. I have to cut my off day short and start driving from home to base, from base with a van all the way to Kingman, go in a hotel, spend the rest of my day in a hotel, wake up, start my route 4 a.m. in the morning, right? But I was supposed to be there for 2 days. So start that, then finish, go back to the hotel, wake up, go back to the yard, finish the next Kingman route, right? Once I'm finished, I'll probably be super tired after finishing the route, including the drive all the way back to base and then all the way back home on top of, the commute. And so I would end up just going back to the hotel, sleep, wake up in the morning, and I'm driving back from Kingman to get to where I live on my off day. So my off day is already shot. So that's basically relief driver in a nutshell. Your schedule, it's shit. It's terrible, man. Having such an inconsistent schedule. Came back from that 5-day work week where we had split days off. That was honestly terrible, bro. Honestly, I'm not going to say I thought about quitting, but I definitely needed to voice my opinion, to my manager. I'm just like, yo, this is trash. Like something needs to be done about it. If we all have to take off, like I already know that I'm not the only one. We're just like, what we got to do to one, we got to do to the others. I'm like, oh, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Listen, if no routes is going out on Saturday or whatever day it is to make us, have a consistent, days off, do what you got to do. You're going to have to let them customers know, like, listen, our drivers, they need rest. They need time to simply process that they're off work, and then you can finally go shopping, whatever you got to do, look at bills or something. You know what I'm saying? It's a position where it's going to either make you or break you. I've had times where, I had to take over a route, like I think 2 times so far. And it wasn't that much at the end of the route, but just how some drivers have their trailer set up at the end. It's like, you clean up all that stuff and things kind of like there's damages. I don't know which one it was, but it was a short I put up. I don't know if it was like helper part 2 or 3. It was early on. I'll put it on a video real quick. But yeah, that route, that guy had a bad day. And basically it was just a lot of damages, a lot of truck shorts or found laters. So I've done that. And then being a helper. And sometimes like I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is another sort of issue that's kind of like low key, but I know nobody's going to talk about it. Like sometimes drivers might take advantage of you, bro. That just is what it is. Like I'm not fucking stupid. I might be the guy that's just laughing, it's just making jokes and shit, um, on social media. Some people think I'm like fucking 20. I'm like, bro, I'm 30. I'm a grown ass man. I'm a grown ass man, bro. I just ain't got kids. But to basically have me help you and then you want some, oh, you know what's best? If you take this stop, right? Or these 2 stops, and I can go ahead over here, and that way you can do such and such. And I look at the stops, I'm like, you trying to fuck me over because this stop right here is a bullshit ass stop. Some of y'all could probably call that like petty or whatever the case is, like you're a relief driver, you're supposed to do it. It's like, I mean, it is what it is, but that's not my route. I'm not obligated to do that shit. If anything, I could just fucking leave. Okay. But for the most part, I've definitely helped out. I've taken stops before. Um, but I've never complained to it towards a driver, but I'm just saying I'm aware of it. Like I'm not unaware of the manipulation that happens from time to time, either management, drivers, warehouse, who cares, fucking routing or some shit. It was getting to a point where it's like this position, it kind of just makes no sense because there's been several times where I'm helping a driver when I should have been helping a certain driver, you know, and out in the scheduling too. Like, how are you going to schedule a driver, right? The runtime and the service, well, not the runtime, the travel time and the service time. Travel time meaning the amount of time you're driving in the truck, right? 3 hours, okay? And then the service time is like 11 hours or something like that, almost, with a 90-minute break. I'm like, how the fuck is that even legal or even possible? So if this driver is driving for almost 3 hours, right? And you're expect the service time to be like 11. That's already like near maximum, federal limit. And because it's during the day, if you got to make a left turn, especially if you're in a 36 or 48, you're going to be sitting there for a while during the day, especially in Arizona. You can't just jump out in front of people. You know what I'm saying? So, and then to put the break in there, I'm like, who's going to be sitting there taking a full 90-minute break? I mean, it's not a full 90-minute, but it's broken up. So it's like 30 minutes at one stop, 30 minutes at another stop, 30 minutes at another stop. But some of these routes, they don't make any sense, bro. Any sense. That's why I do not take breaks. What I'll do is if I'm actually that tired, or maybe if it's like super early, which I'm never really tired, but if it's like super early getting done, which y'all see me in the video do that before, like, all right, it's 11 in the morning, like late 11, and I got like two stops left or a stop left. I should probably take it a little bit easy. You know what I'm saying? So, or at the end of the day, which most of us do, and I don't blame them for doing this, they take their break at the end. I've seen dudes like on the side where the safe area, they park up and they go to sleep. I've had days where when I'm coming home from work, bro, I'm dozing at the wheel. I'm dozing off at the wheel, like dead ass. So, and being a relief driver, they're going to need you whenever they need you. So you might be coming in, like, for example, let's just say I do a pronto route, right? Our pronto routes, they run out at like 5 in the morning. But let's just say I have a heavy pronto route. It's a big day. Sometimes you might have a day of digging and you're moving heavy boxes of beef. And our pronto routes, they get pallets of beef, bro. Okay? Don't look at those small trucks and think, yeah, it's easy work. No. No, it's not. That's all physical labor. But I do a pronto, 5 in the morning. I'm scheduled for like a 12-hour shift and some change. Just so happens to have somewhat a long day. So maybe 13 hours, right? So that means what? From 5 to 6 p.m., 6 or maybe 7-ish p.m., I get off. But then they need me to come in at like 3 in the morning. Basically, they'll schedule it to where you just have 10 hours off. Like shit like that, bro. I've had those days. And it just honestly, it feels like you have like no life. Like I've never felt like this at Sigma, bro. I've never felt like this whatsoever. Now we had this one guy, I guess he's gone. He admitted to me in the comment section on TikTok that he found a new spot or a new company um, that had like a better deal. I'm not sure what. I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to say his name. But when I saw him, I haven't been seeing him in a while, right? Because our schedule's just been all fucked up. But at some point, we did have a consistent schedule where we kind of, we clocked in same time, chop it up in a break room real quick. But when I finally saw him again, bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. I looked him in his eyes, and yo, his eyes was like fucking red. His eyes were like red as shit. I wouldn't say like yellow, but it looked like he was not getting rest, bro. I was like, what the fuck are they doing to this man? And he's like, yeah, I've been doing like recoveries, man. This shit sucks and all this other stuff. I'm like, that's honestly like, there could be some stuff going on at home, but I'm like, damn, bro, because I've been seeing him. He's told me before, like, yo, they had me clock in at 10 in the morning. I'm just like, 10? So ain't no telling how long or what he's doing. Long days, man. And sure, a lot of you guys might say, oh, that's money in the bag. It's like, yeah, it's money, but at the end of the day, that's fucking stress. And when a man is stressed and his testosterone levels are like kind of high, that aggravation is going to add up, and he may lash out at work or at home or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a few guys I see that come into work and they just got a frown on their face. There's a few guys where I've never seen a smile, never heard a joke cracked or anything like that. I'm like, yeah, it could be stuff going on at home, but you know, job our jobs are like 90 to 95% of our lives. That just is what it is. Even if you own a business, you still got to overlook your business. But yeah, being a relief driver, I would say the pros, there's honestly pros to it though. So the pros to being a relief driver or pro, I'm trying to see if I can find more, but I would say is when you're a relief driver, you've had experience with getting to almost like not all the stops, but like all over the map, all over, you know. So now I've done a fair amount of hospitals. I'm not going in like super nervous where I'm coming from like restaurants, easy, just pull up, open a door, find a lockbox type shit. Like some of these hospitals, you gotta show your ID. You gotta, maybe wear a mask. Um, you gotta go through like a little bit of a small process. It's not like super crazy, but like showing the ID. I believe at the Phoenix Children's Hospital that I delivered to, you have to show your ID. And one time, I didn't forget it, obviously, because that's illegal. You can't drive without your driver's license. But when I first went to U.S. Foods, I had like my paper copy, because I transitioned from New Jersey to Phoenix, or yeah, and they didn't accept the paper copy. So I was like, but this is an actual like confirmation I have a CDL. It's just like, nah, we can't use that. But thank God my trainer was with me, so he just per usual just use his. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, I've done a fair amount of these hospitals, especially Banners. Banner was like the biggest talk. It still is, obviously, but when I first went there, so they just say, oh man, we lose Banner, like we're losing everything. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like how big is this shit? So I finally do a Banner. Like when I see my name on the schedule, I'm like, oh my gosh, like bro, I got a fucking Banner. Like, why would y'all give this to me? I'm still new. But I got it done, and it was cool. It was very tedious. Because of the separating. I'm thinking, once I see the kitchen, freezer here, fridge here, dry here. No, brother, no. We need you to put our milks here, our eggs here, our cheese here. We need you to put our juices that are in the fridge, actually, they stay way over here. And any chicken or meat go down in the meat cooler way down there. Oh, and our dry, so all the dry food go in here, but if you have any pudding, which is in the dry, we need that inside the cooler. And all our paper goods, I'm gonna show you. And then we just take this long ass fucking walk that's not even in the kitchen. I'm just like, bro. Like, oh, these stops, man. But like I said, as a relief driver, you know what to expect. You've been there. You pull up. Oh, okay, cool. Let me remove this pallet first because this one's mad far. I gotta walk over here. But yeah, I think that's the only pro to being a relief driver. If I'm being honest with y'all, I can't think of another one because if you're relief, um, you don't have a truck. I'm not sure how that works, but we have a guy that I talked to. He has a route, but no truck. Brother, how does that even work? I'm like, I was like, what? As far as being at US Foods, like completely retired from here,
No.
not from this division. Uh there's a lot that needs to be improved, and I know when we take these little surveys, like they're genuinely asking about like what could be changed. Uh the digging could stop. That's that can stop, you know? I don't want to go into full depth and details and make this video about that, but it is truly a problem, bro. Like, I shouldn't have to break down an entire pallet for one piece of product and then come to find out it's a fucking it's a case of tin cans. It's a case of tin cans that's ripped. So when I pick it up, it just fucking, you know what I'm saying? The box just breaks apart. Now I got to pick up each can and then somehow get it to the customer without being bent, and they deny it, and I bring it back to the damn trailer, and then I go and damage it, and they look up on a damn invoice. Oh, those tin cans were like 150 or some shit. It's a problem. I got to call sales rep. It's like, bro, like food service is not for the weak, okay? I'm gonna just let you know that right now. Food service is for those that's honestly it's a quick money grabber, but it's a headache developer. It's a fucking tumor. This is a whole different breed, man. I can't stand coming into work and I'm just unsure of what the fuck I'm going to do today. I hate that. I can't stand it because one minute, I could have a route, right? I do all my paperwork and shit. Next minute, next thing you know, there's a driver that's removing me from the route to put me on their route that they had. Apparently that was shitty, and I'm fine with doing any route. And I've talked to drivers face to face to where I was given the route that was difficult, right? Because I'm the relief driver. And I finished it. I was like, this driver gave me this route and thought it was like terrible. And it's funny because the next day, dude was just like, so how'd that route go? And I ain't gonna lie, in my head, when he asked me that, I'm like, I don't know what that was about, but how he asked me sound like, yeah, how that, bad day go? Because that route was shitty, so I just kind of wanted to know about it. And it's like, I finished it. It was easy. In fact, I took a whole break. What you talk about? He was like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that school, it was a school or some shit that was on that route. I'm like, yeah, I got there early. I finished it. There was no school bus yet. There was no parents coming through. I've delivered to that school during the time that he's talking about. But I'm like, I wasn't running or anything like that. I'm just like, yeah, I was busting ass. I got it done. It's like, wow, really? And then the other driver, he didn't have a pallet jack. But here's the thing. He said, uh, when he gave me the route, right? Because I was an extra, basically a relief driver, like I said, and he saw that the route he had, and he had no pallet jack. Now, the crazy thing about this route is, I think so. For any of my guys out the Phoenix division, if y'all watching, Freedom Plaza, who likes that fucking stop? Who likes it? Okay, but here's the thing. There's two different ones, right? You have the one which I just did a video on, where I had a rough day. That's the one where you go up the elevator to the sixth floor, right? He didn't have that one. He had the one where you back up right to the door and you could just ramp that joint. I like those stops, bro. I love those stops, bro. Give me 400 cases, I'll ramp all that shit. Fuck you mean? I think they had like two something. I looked at the invoice. I was like, Freedom Plaza. I'm like, oh damn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to climb out the side or some shit like that. I'm like, all right, but it's cool. I get it done. But then I look at the address. I'm like, wait, one. It's like 134 something 35 or something like that. It's not the 1337 or something. Whatever it is. I said, did he just give up this easy ass route because he thought he had the one with the elevator? Which, if you have that one, early on, um, you have to remove like a lot of pallets to get to your freezer. Or if you have it later on, which either way, it's still kind of worse. You might have other truckers, like docking over there, like a box truck or something like that. You can't get in, and it's just you're going to be in the way, and you're going to have to wait or something like that. But come to find out, it was the other one where you just back up to the door and you just ramp it. I was like, okay, so, but he did have a couple other stops. I forget where I did do like the pallet method, and I was like, damn, like, yeah, if I had to just dolly all this, I was like, that'll be quite a walk. I probably feel like my ankles and knees are gonna fall off. But I've done stops where I think I did a Cafe Rio where you had no choice but to walk all the way down behind the plaza and just get there. I ramped it. I couldn't use the fucking pallet jack because there was curbs everywhere, right? And I couldn't park to where I'm out of the way so I can put the lift on the sidewalk. So long story short, I'm just like, I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta walk like fucking a quarter of a mile just to get to the door, and then I gotta maneuver in there and miss all the workers. Now, what this honestly does as a relief driver is it gives you a good portfolio and or resume, that you can build up. And if you're good at it, you move fast, you're efficient, you can get the job done and you don't necessarily need help. You don't need to get rescued. Management and whoever is going to look at you like, okay, we definitely got a guy that we can give this route to and he'll get it done. The only time I ever needed help, right, is when I'm wasting time with having a truck and I can't even start the route because I have no truck. You know what I'm saying? So I'm physically walking that big ass yard to go find a truck. And I'm starting like let's just say an hour or two late because I got to connect up, do a pre-trip, scan, make sure the product's good, get my hand truck, boom, I'm finally out the fucking yard and do the paperwork. I forgot about that. But that's why I skip kind of doing all that writing and shit. I do that at the end. But it's either that or I'm helping a driver, which I already mentioned this in another video. I'm helping a driver for like 3 or 4 hours almost, and they're just like, "Yo, we got a route." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Thinking it's 8 hours. Nope, the whole 14-hour shift. Brother, how the fuck do you expect me to? You think I'm gonna snap my fingers and spawn at each stop and get all the cases off? So I definitely needed help with that. But other than that, I've never needed to be rescued or needed someone to take over my route. Um, it's always been I just get it done and I'll get back to the yard with maybe like 10 minutes left. Like I've had those days. I've had days where I've got back to the yard with like a minute left and I had to clock out, go off the clock, but I'm in the yard. So um and I think you would just put it on yard move, but I would just simply just go off duty. Just go off duty or you could stay on the clock, but you'll be in violation. Cause I know some guys are like, man, fuck all that. Like I'm going to get paid for my time, which I understand. I understand. If you hourly, I would definitely like to get paid for all my damn time, removing all the pallets and putting my hand truck back, parking up, disconnect, do whatever you got to do. But I'm like, yeah, just for, you know, FMCSA purposes, let me just, clock out, only spend a good like 25, 30 minutes doing all that. But yeah, man, relief driver is it's kind of rough, especially in the beginning, bro. Like, bro, once you pass the beginning stage of being a relief driver, I'd say the first like three to 6 months, because I'm like 9 months and some change in now, it starts to be much easier, especially when you're doing like really big drops and you're actually leaving the Phoenix area. Like, I've done routes in I don't know if I've done like several routes. I may have done like one or two Kingman routes before. Parker, Sholo, Flagstaff a couple times, Sedona. I've delivered in Prescott before, Tucson, Casa Grande, all the way to Santan, Queen Creek, Santan, Apache Junction, that area. That's actually kind of far from Phoenix. I don't know if you know that. You gotta take the 60, and it's just a straight shot. It's a straight shot. It's just kind of boring. I wouldn't say it's boring, but when it's like early morning at night, there's no one on the road. That's a boring drive. I say all that to say, yeah, as a relief driver, the only pro is you're getting a lot of experience. So now that you're like everywhere, you can kind of figure out, oh, I've been here in this stop. You got to go up steps. You got to blindside a certain way, miss a bunch of cars. You got to make sure that if you have this stop, it's not in a 48-foot trailer and you need at least a 36. And a 36 is difficult, but a 28 will be better. But if you have a 28 and you have, let's just say, 8 to 900 cases, well, buddy, you have pretty much a wall of product. So the relief driver it's a gritty position. And it's funny because in the beginning when I applied, it was like, yeah, we got two positions left. Um, but one of them is relief driver. And they were flat out honest. It's just like, yeah. They looked at each other and was like, yeah, the relief driver position. Like, yeah, that shit's brutal. Like they were being, they were talking as if they were like at a bar or something like that, just kind of chill about it. Like yeah, man, I'm just letting you know right now, like this shit sucks. I was like, I'm like, okay, but I need money. So yeah, and it's been a ride, brother. It's been a ride. As you can see, got the apartment all furnished and whatnot. I ain't gonna show too much, but got the little TV, little small sound bar, got the carpet, big ass couch, not too big, but two seats. Bro, I moved here when it was nothing. Crazy ass echo in here. I couldn't even. I slept on the floor. And the room is much better, but I don't really care to show my super personal space. You can just basically go on my Instagram and I'll accept your follow. But yeah, man, this is what US foods get you. um but as far as the pay goes, yeah, pay is going up. Uh Gotta wait till September 15th. Check my work day, see if that shit actually went up. And they're not lying. But yeah, 32 an hour. Once I hit 32 an hour, bro, I don't even give a fuck. I'm gonna just do 40 hours a week. Like I'm not looking to do no damn 55 or 56 no more or 60 or 70. Like, I'm not even married yet, bro. Like, I'm gonna owe hella bread back in taxes. I keep saying this, man. I keep saying this. But yeah, let me not make this video too long, man. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share this on, your social networks and whatever like that. If you can do little piece and edits, um, just to get drivers together, and just share opinions, like what's happening at y'all division, what position you got. Um, Cisco too. I respect a lot of y'all. Shout out to Cisco, bro. I've been seeing a lot of y'all Cisco drivers out there. In fact, uh, I don't think dudes ever going to see this, but basically, I was delivering to not Houston Hot Chicken, but it was like a chicken joint, right? Super narrow in the back. I was in a Pronto truck. This was literally like yesterday, and I'm over here delivering. Cisco driver, a whole fucking combination vehicle pulls up. I was like, "Who fit that big ass truck back here?" And I'm like, "Damn, I'm in his way." But I'm just like, "Wait." I point to the stop as he pulls up, and he's drinking water. I'm like, "You gotta deliver here?" He's like, "I was like, damn." I mean, got a homeboy's way, man, so he can get to his bread. And yeah, I just ramped that shit real quick. Got up out the way. Yeah, man. Shout out to a lot of y'all, bro. We be delivering to the same damn stops, man. We've delivered to the same stops. I probably met up with Cisco like at least 5 times. But yeah, man. Peace out.